Good evening and welcome to News 20 at 5. I'm Shatanya Clark. Since the state of Florida has passed House Bill 833, all Florida elementary schools will be required to give students 20 minutes of recess each and every day. Residents of Tallahassee can stop worrying about not being able to find parking spots. The City Commission meeting that took place on Wednesday discussed the concerns of parking in Tallahassee, especially in the downtown area. Being able to carry guns on college campuses has been an ongoing debate ever since the shooting that took place on Florida State University's campus in 2015. House Bill 4001 will now allow college students to open carry on campus. There is still an ongoing discussion about this topic. Obesity has become a big problem in children's lives. Studies show that more and more children are at high risk of having type 2 diabetes and heart disease. The Early Childhood Obesity Prevention Work Group presented their research to the Leon County School Board. This group works to prevent obesity starting in kindergarten. Talking about children, the Hang Tough Foundation was created for children with pediatric cancer. It also supports children with illnesses and a support system for their families. The FAMU football team will be adopting a pediatric cancer patient. The foundation is looking forward to how much this will impact the children. Local high school bands, law enforcement, organizations, and many of the Tallahassee community all attended the 2016 Veteran Day Parade. The streets were crowded, watching the floats and groups of local organizations pay their respects to our women and men of the American Armed Forces. In other local news, the homeless rate has increased in the Tallahassee area in the last few months. Giovanni Hampton has more of the story.
Here in Tallahassee, the numbers of homelessness has increased. According to the Big Bend Coalition, the total number of homeless persons this year alone is 869, which includes 638 adults and 231 youth. Daryl Nunnally has been without a home for 2 years now and says the hardest part is lack of support.
Well, really maintain it, you know. I mean, it's just hard, you know. But hopefully it'll get better. You know, I'm looking forward to that.
According to the case manager at the Kearney Center, they've serviced over 2,000 people in the past year and average over 300 people a night. Matthew Totoro explains ways to give back and help decrease these numbers.
Get involved, talk with them. They're human beings. So many people don't want to acknowledge or walk up to someone experiencing homelessness. But get involved with the organizations, Kearney Center, CCYS, Big Bend Homeless Coalition. Working on affordable housing is huge too.
Joshua Sproul believes in order to help others, you must look at yourself first.
So I'd say let's start with ourselves and how we think about the population and try not to lump them all into one box and understand that they're all unique and individual.
There are a total number of 17 homeless shelters in Tallahassee, which provide services 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. According to the Big Bend Homeless Coalition, the main issue of homelessness here in Tallahassee isn't mental disability, isn't substance abuse, it's the lack of affordable housing. With FAMU TV 20, I'm Tiana Jones.
Standardized testing has always been a big issue in the state of Florida. A lot of these tests can decide whether or not a student is eligible to go to the next grade level. Students aren't the only ones problems like this can affect. Students can also be penalized, funds can be taken away, and even teachers can lose their jobs. This has caused more parents to start homeschooling their children. In other news, many hungry Tallahassee residents gather at Cascade Park on Sunday to be a part of the longest table ever. While enjoying their free food, the community also enjoyed the entertainment. The purpose of this event was to bring the community leaders and the community together. The city also plans to continue this event in 2017. Now, it's no secret that residents who live in the rural community can sometimes struggle for economic security. However, after-school programs are here to help children learn and keep them safe. 14% of students are involved with after-school programs. Coming up, an Amber Alert for a missing teenager and a student fight caught on camera. Stay tuned. You're watching News 20 at 5.
Florida A&M University students have explored international cultures while discovering what they can become. From Hong Kong working as a camp counselor to the Dominican Republic for the Study Abroad program, I discovered my passion for international studies. As Miss FAMU, the university has prepared me to represent my institution in the global market.
Discover what you can become.
Descubrir lo que puede llegar a ser.
Yeah, what she said. For more information about our Study Abroad program, visit discoverfamu.com.
Welcome back. An Amber Alert went out for a 15-year-old who disappeared last week, as did a 50-year-old teacher. This teacher, Ted Cummins, has been added to the top 10 most wanted list after being charged with aggravated kidnapping in the disappearance of the 15-year-old girl. His wife also spoke about her husband saying, "Turn yourself in and bring Beth home." The argument over a baseball has surfaced another violent student fight, with other students egging on the fight from Timberland High School. The video shows a student getting body slammed on the ground, hurting his head. Now, as you see, the student with the bat is getting hit in the face several times. Some students believe this fight is being racially charged. Moving on to national news, President Trump met with Irish Prime Minister Edna Kenny. While meeting, the two discussed the undocumented immigrants in the United States. President Trump has vowed to take a hard line against illegal immigrants, promising to speed up deportations, especially against those with a criminal record. People from all over have joined together at Central Park in New York City to celebrate 35 years of conservancy. Our very own Gabby Dawkins has more of the story.
I'm here at the 4th annual Ice Festival here at Central Park in New York, and people are celebrating 35 years of conservancy at Central Park. Take a look. In 1980, a group of individuals dedicated their efforts to restoring and maintaining the 843-acre park. Hundreds of New Yorkers celebrated that moment 35 years ago with an ice sculpting event and silent disco.
It's a good way to gather a crowd, and I thought the ice sculpture was cool because it was neat to see the technical aspects of putting something like that together. So it was really fun to watch it go from a block of ice to a really pretty statue.
Two sculptors from Okamoto Studios turned an approximately 6-foot block of ice into Romeo and Juliet in less than 3 hours. They had some difficulty when a section of the ice fell, but with a few failed attempts, they managed to get the piece back on. I was able to speak to Shintaro Okamoto, one of the sculptors.
It's an amazing turnout. Looks like people are having a great time, so look forward to coming back.
For more events in the well-known New York Park, be sure to go to their website at centralparknyc.org. For News 20 at 5, I'm Gabrielle Dawkins.
Big news is going on overseas in Dubai. A juicy burger was sold at an auction for $10,000. That's right, folks, $10,000. Asma Al-Fahim, the founder of Dubai Lifestyle magazine, won the winning bid. This burger contains 7 big beef patties, one for each of the Emirates in the United Arab Emirates. 2 years ago, they broke record by selling just one burger for $7,000. It was also mentioned that all proceeds will go towards breast cancer awareness. It seems like climate change is making Americans sicker. Floods, storms, heat waves, and droughts are expected to increase in frequency thanks to climate change. This, the trauma may have on the mind of those affected, is something doctors, policymakers, and governments are considering when planning services to help populations at risk. The U.S.-backed Iraqi forces have cleared ISIS fighter from a key village overlooking Mosul's airport. This happened less than 48 hours after the start of an operation to retake western Mosul. The effort to take western Mosul began Sunday morning. This comes a week after Iraqi forces recaptured the eastern half of the city, which is divided by the Tigris River. In other national news, mortgage rates have jumped to a high level. The Federal Reserve's rate hike could make home buying even more expensive. Mortgage rates move with the government's 10-year Treasury note. Interest rates on notes have already risen since President Trump was elected. And a 5-year-old is recovering after being attacked by a pit bull that killed Logan Bratz and almost killed her. The 5-year-old is back home with her family like nothing ever happened. After 9 surgeries, the doctors expected her to be in the hospital for up to a year. After the death of Kayla Shawab at a water park, Kansas state lawmakers are working to make things safer at amusement parks. House Bill 2389 is aiming to do just that. If passed, the bill requires a parks insurance company to hire experienced engineers for inspections. Coming up, we'll hear about our sports from Vince Montgomery. Stay tuned. You're watching News 20 at 5.
Florida A&M University students continue to define themselves as role models, pace setters, and young professionals on the global scale.
Choosing FAMU has helped me to discover the world. I've had the opportunity to help America's deployed military families by educating their children in Spain, Italy, Germany, Switzerland, France, Austria.
So how many stamps do you have in your passport?
A lot.
For more information about Camp Adventure and our other programs, visit discoverfamu.com.
At the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Season tickets are now on sale. After 3 seasons with the Florida A&M University Rattlers, the men's head basketball coach Byron Samuel's contract will not be renewed. However, this was a pretty rocky season for the FAMU men's basketball team. The Rattlers finished out at 7 wins, 23 losses after losing to South Carolina in the MEAC tournament. The 2017 NFL Draft is on its way. This year's draft will take place from April 27th to April 29th, 2017. On to a little bit more football news. It's almost time for the FAMU Rattlers football team to get started with their spring practice. The 2017 football schedule for the Rattlers has also been released, with the first game kicking off in August 26th in Bragg Memorial Stadium. The Cleveland Cavaliers are going back to the playoffs after defeating the Los Angeles Lakers 125-120. Sports reporter Raven Gaines has.
The Cleveland Cavaliers are on top once again. The Cleveland Cavaliers defeated the LA Lakers on Sunday night. Kyrie Irving scored 46 points, while LeBron James added 34 points to the scoreboard. Kevin Love had 21 points and 15 rebounds. As the Cavs survived a surprising challenge, the Cavs made sure the Lakers didn't win, making their final score 120-125. This has been Raven Gaines with FAMU TV 20.
The NBA playoffs is scheduled to start next month in April. Tallahassee Community College standout Claire Crouch has been named to the 2017 Florida College System Activities Association's All-State basketball team. The All-State team was announced on Saturday following the FCS-AA State Championship game. The Florida State Seminole baseball team lost to Virginia Tech over the weekend. This will be the first time that Virginia Tech beat FSU in 3-game series. The final score was 17-0. The Miami Heat and the Portland Trail Blazers played against each other on Sunday at the American Airlines Arena in Miami, Florida. The Portland Trail Blazers so far have won 7 of their last 9 games, averaging out 108.1 points each game, while the Miami Heat have won 20 of their 25 games so far. The Portland Trail Blazers won against the Miami Heat with a final score of 115-104. And on to a little hockey news. The Carolina Hurricanes hockey team went against the Philadelphia Flyers on Sunday night. The two teams went into overtime. However, the Philadelphia Flyers ended up taking the win with a final score of 4-3. This has been Vincent Montgomery Jr. with your sports. Back to you at the desk.
When we come back, learn why Mayor Gillum is in the news. Stay tuned. You're watching News 20 at 5. Mayor of Tallahassee, Andrew Gillum, announced that he will be running for governor in 2018, almost a month ago. However, he's currently under investigations about whether he broke the law using taxpayer-funded software to send emails with political messages. This bombshell could affect City Hall and the Florida governor's race. We'll keep you updated on the story as it becomes available to us. This has been Shatanya Clark. Thanks for watching News 20 at 5.